AITA for making my coworker a separate meal after she insulted my cooking. I work in a small office where we do a potluck-style lunch once a week. I love cooking, so I usually bring something homemade. For context, I'm Thai, and a lot of what I make has strong flavors. Think garlic, fermented fish sauce, chili, shrimp paste, that kind of thing. Most of my coworkers love it. Kate, though, has always been weird about it. She's made little comments before, like, "Wow, that's pungent," or "Your food is so intense." Once, when I brought in some green papaya salad, she wrinkled her nose and said, "Ugh, why does it smell like that?" Like, it smells like lime and chili. Sorry, it's not a turkey sandwich, Kate. The worst was when she asked me if I grew up eating bugs. I kind of laughed it off because I was so caught off guard, but she kept going, talking about how she saw a documentary about Thai people eating crickets and how it must be normal for me. I told her, as evenly as I could, that yes, some people eat insects, but it's not like I was raised munching on tarantulas for breakfast. She got all flustered and said she didn't mean it like that. Anyway, last month, I made khao soi for the potluck, a northern Thai curry noodle soup. Everyone seemed to love it, except Kate, who took one bite, made a face, and said, "Oh, this is strong." Then she laughed like it was a joke, but she barely touched her bowl. Later, I overheard her telling someone it was too much spice and too many smells at once. So a few weeks later, when it was my turn to cook again, I made my usual dish plus a plain grilled chicken breast with some steamed veggies and a little cup of ranch dressing. No seasoning, no strong smells, etc. I left a note for Kate since I know she prefers something simple. She was pissed. Said I was singling her out and making her look bad. I told her I was just trying to be accommodating, the way she seemed to want. Some coworkers thought it was hilarious, others said I was being passive-aggressive. Honestly, maybe I was. AITA.
AITA for ignoring my wife for throwing away my late wife videotapes. I am writing this because I don't know what to do. I have a daughter with my late wife, and her name is Eleanor. Her birthday is coming up in 2 weeks, and she's turning 18. Background: me and my late wife, Chloe, has been dating since college. We got older and ended up getting married, and after our wedding, she shared news to me that she was pregnant, and I was excited that we were expecting our first child. Since it was our first child, we bought a video camera and made little tapes and snippets of her whole pregnancy. Wholesome things such as us just joking around or having lunch or talking to our unborn child through the camera. We made a promise to only show Eleanor the tapes until her 18th birthday. Fast forward 2 years after her birth, Chloe passed away due to a drunk driver crashing into her car as she was coming home from her mother's house. I was devastated of her passing and went into a deep depression and having to raise our 2-year-old daughter by myself. My friend tried to get me to go out again and start back dating, but every time I did, I felt like I was betraying her. Years later, when Eleanor was 13, I met Wendy. We met at a gathering for my sister's birthday, and we instantly hit it off. She didn't mind that I had a daughter because she had 2 kids herself and just went through a divorce. 2 years after we got married, now back to the present. Eleanor's 18th birthday is coming up, and I kept all the tapes for me to show her. Mind you, her mother died when she was just 2, so Eleanor doesn't remember her touch or her voice. I was excited to show her the tapes, and a week ago I was talking to Wendy about it, and I noticed her expression going from happy to looking a bit uncomfortable. Wendy would always get uncomfortable when I talk about my late wife. I don't say things like, "Why can't you be like Chloe?" or "Chloe was only supposed to be my first love," but I talk about her in a way to give my daughter a mental picture of how her mother was like. Wendy has always talked to me about Chloe and how it made her sad that she can never be like her. Chloe was a model, then started working on her fashion career. And don't get me wrong, she was a really beautiful woman, while Wendy had 2 kids in college and not in the best shape due to her words. I love both women how they are, and I've never had a preference, but I feel like Wendy is gaining some jealousy towards Chloe. I told Wendy that I love her just the way she was, and she broke down crying. The next day after that incident, she came up to me and apologized for the way she acted last night. I told her it was okay, and it's good that she felt comfortable to share her feelings, and I gave her a tight hug and a kiss on her forehead. She asked to see where the tapes were at, and I showed her the box of videotapes of my late wife in my closet. Things were going fine until yesterday morning. I was looking for the tapes because I wanted to put them in a prettier box for my daughter, and when I went to go find them, the box wasn't in my closet. I looked everywhere to the point I walked downstairs to see my wife laying on the couch watching TV. I asked her about the box, and she told me she threw it away with a neutral expression. My heart dropped, and I asked her what did she mean, and she told me that I talk about her too much and that I need to move on with my life. So she threw them away as a head start. I was fuming with anger because not only she threw away what I had left of her, she threw away my daughter big surprise. We quickly got into an argument, and she noticed how angry I was, so she started apologizing. It got to the point I started crying and locked myself in our bedroom. It's the morning, and I'm writing this in my office, going through my computer, finding old files or any type of video of my late wife to give it to my daughter, because sometimes my daughter still cries that she never got to meet her mother, and I really thought it would bring her closer to her. I've been ignoring my wife for the past day, and she's been texting me nonstop about how sorry she is, but I really just can't look at her right now. It's getting to the point our mutual friends are texting me to accept her apology and get over it since Chloe died over 10 years ago, but I'm trying to ignore them all because they never had someone so close to them died. I am working on finding these files, and I'm starting to think I was overreacting. I don't know what to do, and I really need help.
AITA for thinking I was great in bed until my wife admitted she's been faking it. So, this one hurts. I, 34M, have been with my wife, 32F, for 8 years, married for 5. I always thought our sex life was solid. She seemed into it, I put in effort, and honestly, I thought I was pretty damn good in bed. Then, last week, we were having a deep conversation about our relationship, just talking about things we could improve. Out of nowhere, she drops. I should probably tell you. I've never actually had an orgasm with you. I laughed because I legit thought she was joking. She wasn't. Turns out, she's been faking it our entire relationship. 8. Damn. Years. I was stunned. I asked why she never told me, and she said she didn't want to hurt my feelings, and that it's not a big deal. Not a big deal. I've been walking around thinking I was a sex god while she was out here giving Oscar-worthy performances. I won't lie, I feel like a complete idiot. I told her I would have rather known sooner so we could, fix it. But now, I just feel embarrassed, frustrated, and kinda betrayed. I get that she didn't want to make me feel bad, but I also feel like she took away my chance to actually learn and improve. Like, was I that bad that she thought honesty wasn't even worth it? So, AITA for being upset. Or am I overreacting to something that apparently doesn't matter? Edit. So after reading through the comments, someone mentioned a sex course taught by actual adult performers this one, and at this point, I figured, why not? I started watching it just to see if I was really missing something, and damn, let's just say there's a lot they don't teach you in regular life. I tried just one small thing they explained, and suddenly my wife was way more into it. She didn't even know I had been looking into this, but tonight, she was way more relaxed, engaged, and actually enjoying herself. Maybe it's placebo, maybe it's real, but I'll be finishing the course either way. So, to whoever dropped that recommendation, MVP. Face with tears of joy.